Hello, BookTube. Sorry for the change of location, and also you may notice, maybe from your volume level, a change in technology as well. I'm making this video on my phone because my laptop is busy downloading something. It's been a weirdly busy day. Ordinarily, I putter along, just doing my thing, but I took the puppy for a long walk this morning, and when I got back, my whole world was full of work. I haven't actually stopped until now to think about uh, opening some mail. So I thought I'd do that. I thought we'd do that together right now. I got to the mail on time, so it wasn't sitting out on the porch. It's pouring rain. I was worried that it would get. All right. So what have we got? What's first? First is an Unbelievable Steve book, and it's another paperback release. The paperback version of a Belknap Press book that came out last year, which is fine by me. This is Eric Nelson's The Royalist Revolution, Monarchy and the American Founding, which I read and really liked, but I don't think I reviewed it. I don't think I got to it at all. So this is a bit of a reprimand. I will reread it. I don't know that I'll review it. It came out 2 weeks ago. I'll reread it because I don't think I have the hardcover anymore. But I don't know. I don't know that I'll review it. I might just let it be. But that was a manila envelope, and that in this mail haul is the only such thing. Everything else is cardboard, brown cardboard. No idea what that means. It's probably just random coincidence. The only thing I can think that it might mean that might be a little tedious is that it might mean that everything here that's the remainder of this mail haul is all from one publisher. But we'll see. Okay, next one is a finished copy of something I think we saw on this channel before. This is due in early January. It is Clarissa Harwood's Impossible Saints. This is the finished cover of Impossible Saints. I think we saw this before. Escaping the constraints of life as a village schoolmistress, Lilia Brooke bursts into London and into Paul Harris's orderly life, shattering his belief that women are gentle creatures who need protection. Lilia wants to change women's lives by advocating for the vote, free unions, and contraception. Paul, an Anglican priest, has the big ambition of his own, to become the youngest dean of St. John's Cathedral. Lilia doesn't believe in God, but she's attracted to Paul's intellect, ethics, and dazzling smile. I don't recall reading that description on camera, but I might have forgotten. But anyway, so it looks like it's a World War II era historical novel. And it's a debut novel as well. No, I don't think I did read this one. All right, so Impossible Saints. So that was fiction. Fiction was the first one. And that's by Pegasus Books. So these could all be Pegasus. Let's see what the next one is. Yeah, these could all be the same publisher. That might be why they all look the same. This also is Pegasus. Also due at the very beginning of January. Also the finished copy of something I think we saw on this channel before. I love the editor. It's an anthology, and I love the editor, Leslie Klinger. So I read the advance copy, even though I have been sort of limiting how much 2018 stuff I read in a feverish attempt to read all of the 2017 stuff. But this is In the Shadow of Agatha Christie. It's an anthology of it reads here, classic crime fiction by forgotten female writers, 1850 to 1917. And there were some writers in here that the minute I read their short story, I wanted them to be completely in print. And anthologies like this are always slight guilt trips, because you read that these people once had massive careers, whole shelves full of books in print, and are now completely gone. And it's natural as a reader, when you learn about that, even me, it's natural to learn a detail like that and think, well, if they entirely disappeared, they can't have been that good. But that's not true. That's not true. They are that good. A lot of them are that good, and then it just kills you that random chance could do that. Okay, so In the Shadow of Agatha... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. What's the matter? What's the matter? Hmm? Herself has also had an active day, and she's feeling a little stir crazy because it's been rainy. So and she doesn't particularly like walking in the rain. She won't refuse, like every other dog I've ever had in my life, but she doesn't particularly like it. Uh, and I don't particularly like doing anything that she doesn't particularly like. So we've curtailed it today, which means she hasn't gotten the exercise that I now know for a fact she badly needs. She needs lots of exercise. That's fine by me. I'm willing to give it to her, but not on a day like this when it's drenching rain. So anyway, let's move on. We'll hope that she doesn't interrupt us too bad. So let's see. What is this next one here? Oh no. Okay. Next one is not Pegasus Books. Great. It's the University of Chicago Press. So what have we got here? This is due in, it's due any day now. It's due in mid-December. Well, okay. Wow. Okay. Wow, what is this? Anyway, all right. So this is Everywhere a Wanderer, a biography of Petrarch, which I don't know if I can make it clear. This is the naked hardcover. It's got an inlaid glossy picture. The lettering is all engraved on the front and the back, so that it's actually lovely. You've got decorated end papers, and I'd be willing to bet, if this is true, that it's probably illustrated throughout. Yeah, it is. It's illustrated throughout. Oh, what a lovely thing. There's a picture of Petrarch's home. Okay, great. I did not know this was coming. Let's see here. So this is due any day. It's in hardcover, but it's only $22. That's only. I mean, that's still too much money, but this is a very pretty thing for $22. In this biographer, Christopher Calenza revisits Petrarch's life and work for the first time in decades, considering how the scholar's reputation and identity have changed since his death in 1374. Okay. Let's go over that one more time, shall we? That sentence is actually hilarious in 2 or 3 different ways. In this biography, Christopher Calenza revisits Petrarch's life and work for the first time in decades, considering how the scholar's reputation and identity have changed since his death in 1374. I'm not bashing on the publicist. I'm sure whoever wrote this had a million other things to do, but that sentence is actually very funny. Okay, we'll let it go though. We'll let it go. So this is indeed just a full dress biography of Petrarch. I'm getting a full dress major biography of somebody at the very last month of the year, and this is scheduled for publication 2 weeks before the end of the year. I ask you, how's anybody supposed to do a year-end list with something like this? And how sorry I feel for this author that book editors like myself are getting this book on their desk now, when not only have their year-end lists already been published or are already finalized and at the printer, but they're well into planning, February, March, and April of 2018, when this will be old. I don't know. Maybe there was an advance copy floating around and I wasn't a big enough fish to get it. I hope so. I hope I start to see reviews of this thing. I never expect serious works of any kind to appear scheduled for the last 2 weeks of December. Okay, this one is also from the University of Chicago Press, and it is a study. It is a philosophical study called Revenge, A Short Inquiry into Retribution by Stephen Feynman. There's just something so exhilarating about revenge. At root, we know it can quickly turn terribly wrong, but why does this exacting revenge still feel so good? In Revenge, Stephen Feynman goes straight to the heart of this primal force, exposing its intriguing contours in arenas as diverse as the workplace, intimate relationships, and the search for societal justice, war, and politics. He explores the psychology and experience of revenge and touches on more recent manifestations like cyberstalking and revenge pornography in order to ask important questions. How best can we prevent the most damaging effects of revenge? When should retribution be tolerated and even celebrated? If we are all potential avengers, what does that say about us? And he's a professor emeritus at the University of Bath. Interesting. Okay, but the book itself is a little over 200 pages long. And I'm skeptical, because I don't believe that a subject that size can really be covered in any kind of useful depth in 200 pages, which means, since I'm guessing that probably the writer doesn't cover it in depth, that he probably does something else, that he covers it in breadth or with brio, rather than digging into history. That would make sense, and I would read that. That would be fun. I myself have never achieved revenge and had it feel good. Never. Not once. Not even when it was richly deserved. I've never had it actually feel good. But I guess people do, because it happens all the time. That although those popular modern manifestations are active things. I heard an opinion of someone who said that revenge pornography is never about revenge, that it's about clicks. That, like everything else in the 21st century, it's about getting attention on you, not exacting revenge on someone else. But I'm hardly an expert. The times in the past, I don't do it anymore, but the times in the past when I have tried to exact any kind of revenge for anything, I have ended up being deeply disappointed. It feels just bitter. So I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Okay, and then this last one, we're right back to Pegasus Books. This is also the finished copy of something, also early in the year. Finished copy of something we've seen before here. This is Ian Mortimer's The Outcasts of Time, in its finished copy with raised lettering, and very nice. This is the book about the Black Death, 1348. We saw this before. With the country in the grip of the Black Death, brothers John and William fear that they will shortly die and suffer in the afterlife. But as the end draws near, they are given an unexpected choice. Either go home and spend their last 6 days in their familiar world, or to search for salvation across the forthcoming centuries, living each one of their remaining 99 years after the last. Okay, yes. So a bit of a Kate Atkinson alternate fantasy type thing. That I have the advanced copy and I haven't got to it at all. I'll have to do that. So these Pegasus books are just reminders to me of what I still need to do in the year. So this is The Outcasts of Time, then A Slim Study of Revenge, then the find of the day, a full-scale biography of Petrarch. That's amazing. Then the finished copy of In the Shadow of Agatha Christie, and a finished copy of Impossible Saints, and a paperback copy of The Royalist Revolution. So not a bad mail haul, and I will now go and make sense of it, and then also try to see if I remember how to upload something on the phone. I hope you can hear this, but one way or another, I'll be back to using the laptop next time. Thank you, BookTube.